Nouns followed by prepositions on, to, and off. Today we'll see about, for, and in. Okay. I've sent the invite to our pro learners. Please join. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. Not a very long topic.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. Can
Go ahead.
you able to give now?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Ask.
Oh, okay, thank you, sir. Last evening, I searched about stative verbs and intransitive verb as well as intransitive. But you taught the student little bit, not in a elaborate way.
Yeah.
So when you will explain in a detailed way transitive and intransitive as well as stative,
Yeah.
I
Sure.
want to watch.
I've actually, you must not have probably been a part of that session. We had discussed in detail about all three verbs, but we might have a topic related to that. And when we do the active and passive voice, we do that. So I've already discussed it as well. So I mean, during the next class, or if today, if there's some time, I will. But yeah, if I request you to check on the app and just search if the topic exists. There must be, but even if not, then the active, passive, the reported speech, the topics that we had done, we had covered the three verbs in a detailed manner. I do not know what exactly the date and the topic was. I mean, when did we take it? But it was sometime last month. That is, I'm sure about that. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Continue, please.
No, so I will need to see if there is an option. Let me see if I find that. Give me a minute. If there is, I can ask you to search it on the app and practice it. Give me a minute.
Yeah, sir, please. I will go through in detail, and then I will able to assess the status of single verb and intransitive verb. I am not able assess while active voice or passive voice when it comes.
So just search the active voice and the passive voice topic and see if you are able to find the verb topic on the app. I'm not sure about it because you see, I don't use the app. I'm assigned topics and that's what I take. So the verbs, there are topics like verbs, regular, irregular. Then there is mixed verbs, continuous, non-continuous. There's main verbs. So there are different topics on verbs, pronouns, nouns. Similarly, so I want you to search if there is the topic precisely on, to be precise on the verbs. And there's a topic called common errors as well, I think. So just search for these kind of topics and reported speech and reported speech is a topic where you can also find some explanation on that.
Sir, there are several lesson you have completed, but in which you have taught, would you tell me?
That is the topic, the reported and the direct and indirect speeches. When I had discussed that topic, not as a separate topic, but while doing that, we discussed the verbs.
Especially it comes the verbs of I mean singular verb where it comes especially in indirect speech or active voice, or especially in passive voice.
I'm not sure if I get your question right, but we'll have to park this for some other time when we do the topic active and passive voice.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, guys. So yes, let's start the topic. Nouns followed by these prepositions. The ones that we have today are about, for, and in. Okay. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I think we have most of our learners in. Suresh, can you hear me?
Yes,
Read the next slide. Read a little slowly, okay?
sir.
And a little more clearly.
Yes, sir. इस लेसन में हम उपसर्ग फॉर अबाउट और इन की प्रैक्टिस करेंगे जो संज्ञा के पहले आता है। उपसर्गों को अंग्रेज में प्रेपोजिशन कहा जाता है। ध्यान रहे कि अंग्रेज में प्रेपोजिशन का उपसर्ग संज्ञा के पहले किया जाता है। जैसे बी स्पोक अबाउट पॉलिटिक्स में अबाउट के जो कि प्रेपोजिशन है पॉलिटिक्स के पहले आता है। पॉलिटिक्स एक नाउन संज्ञा है। अबाउट के बारे में अबाउट के बारे में इसका इस्तेमाल एग्रीमेंट और डिस्कशन विचार विमर्श के लिए करा जाता है। फॉर के लिए कभी-कभी इसका मतलब कहा कि भी हो सकता है। इसका इस्तेमाल रीजन कारण और रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जिम्मेदारी के लिए करा जाता है। इनमें इसका इस्तेमाल बिलीफ और क्या लिखा जाए?
That's fine. Just read the Asthayo. Asthayo.
और
Asthayo. Belief. Asthao. Belief. Yeah.
रुचियों के लिए करा जाता है।
Yes. So about, for, and in, and we'll see if we can add some more prepositions as well. But first, let's look at so here we talk about the prepositions for, about, and in, okay, where we are looking at some nouns, and the prepositions are used with the nouns here in this case. So like there's an example given here. We spoke about politics. So the Hindi explanation is also given here, ke bare mein. So when we are talking about the noun, when we're talking about discussions, agreements, this is the way in which you can make a sentence stating we were discussing about politics. About, of course, the preposition, and politics, of course, the noun in this case. Okay. Similarly, for and in. Now, let me ask you all individually to make some sentences. Okay. Suresh, give me one sentence using about and for. I'm sorry, about and some and any noun. Use about and make a sentence.
What about you?
What about you is a question. Give me a sentence.
No idea.
No, that's okay. You can speak anything. We were यहाँ पे दिया example. We were speaking about politics. Politics के बारे में बात कर रहे थे. Okay. Similarly, you can make a lot of sentences, so that's fine. किसी चीज पर बात करना, agreement and discussions. Okay. All right. Manju, give me one sentence using for and reasons. For and reason together.
Oh, okay, sir. I went to office. I went to DC office for submit my form.
I went to the office. This will be I went to the office to submit the form, not for submit my form.
Okay, sir.
What I'm asking you is give me a sentence with for and reasons. Kisi karan, that's fine. But using for, not to. The sentence that you gave me is appropriate when you use to submit. Okay. Or you can say, or the other way around, you can say, I went for submitting.
Yes, sir.
I went to
for submitting the form to get the possession letter of my house.
To get the letter. Yeah, I went for submitting the form to get the letter. But here again, the statement's a little vague. So I went to the office, to the office for, I went to the office for submitting the form to get the letter, A better way of saying that would again be, I went to submit the letter. Okay, so that's fine. So for can be used with reason for, multiple things. Z, can you hear me? Give me a sentence using for and responsibilities.
Yes, okay, sir.
Something that you are responsible for, with regards to the reason, we can say what was the reason for his absence, for example. Okay, what was the reason for his absence? Okay, the reason, yeah, you can use that. Yes, go ahead. A sentence
Sir,
with for and yeah.
sir, I was not the responsible for this fault.
For this mistake or for this fault. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
You should obey your responsibilities for your family. नहीं, sorry.
You should take the responsibilities.
You should take.
But here in this case, you'd say of, not for. You should take the responsibilities of your family. So of is the one that you will need to use, not for. Okay. Or you can, if you want to say it the other way around, you can say that I am responsible for my family. Okay. I am responsible, or we are responsible for our family. Okay. You can say that. The meaning changes for and off. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Can I make sentence, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, it is my responsibility for doing this job.
So what is the sentence? It is
My responsibility for doing this job work.
See, this sentence, it is better. It's better if you use it as my responsibility to do this work. If you use to, that is a better preposition in this case. You get it? It is my responsibility to do this work. That's a better way of saying that. Or if you want to say, I am responsible for this work. I am responsible for this work or this job. Okay. I am responsible for taking care or supervising this work. You can say that. So for, to, and of, sometimes we can make mistakes because, so just try and understand what the meaning of the sentences. So rather than saying for the work in your sentence, to is the better preposition. Okay. It is my responsibility to do this work.
And sir.
Yeah.
And I went to bank for withdrawal of money.
That's fine. I went to the bank for withdrawal. Yeah, but again, for withdrawal of money, इसको आप simple तरीके से कह सकते हैं. The better way of saying this is, I went to the bank to withdraw money. That is a better sentence. Okay, it's not incorrect. Your sentence is fine. It's fine. You can say that I went to the bank for withdrawal of money. It's fine. Grammatically correct. There's nothing wrong with that. But a simpler, easier way of saying this will be, I went to the bank to withdraw money. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me ask. Yes, Meera, go ahead. Give me a sentence with in and belief.
Ma'am, sir, I believe in God.
I believe in God. Yeah.
I am interested to write this story.
No,
in religion. Yes, yeah.
What is your sentence? I am
interested. No, I am
interested in writing or
stories.
reading. Yeah, I'm interested in stories. Yeah, not to. I'm interested in stories. That's fine. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, belief is fine. Yeah, so we'll look at some more examples of prepositions and discuss that once we are done with the topic. Let's continue with the exercise for the time being. Okay, just give me a minute. Soumya, go ahead, read the next one.
So they took the responsibility for organizing the expedition.
Read it again. Expedition is the word.
Sorry. They took the responsibility
Took likha hai, took.
Oh, sorry. They took the responsibility for organizing the expedition.
Expedition, yes. Expedition, the tour, exploration, okay, a journey, basically. They took the responsibility for organizing the expedition. Basically, if I have to rephrase this sentence, I can say they are responsible, or they were, okay. They were responsible. Complete the sentence. If you have to rephrase this sentence for me, I want you to make the sentence in another way, just for practice. What is the meaning of the sentence? मैं अगर कह रहा हूं they took the responsibility for organizing the expedition means what? They were responsible.
For
Same
for
thing,
the
for organizing
for organizing
the expedition. Expedition नहीं है वो, expedition है. Yeah, expedition. Yes. Just a minute. Yeah, they were responsible for organizing the expedition. Okay. Good. Thank you. Let's continue. Shalini, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead. Read the next slide, page 3.
Raman had strong affection for that poor girl.
Very good. Raman had strong affection for that poor girl. Okay. Okay, just a minute. The sentence, Raman has strong affection. Yeah, that's fine. Affection for that poor woman. Affection basically means love, okay? Fondness, liking, sentiment, tenderness. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. The correct preposition is for. Okay. Okay. So if this particular sentence, give me a minute. Raman has strong affection. Why is on not right here? There are a lot of incorrect responses. That's why I'm asking. Anyone who selected on? Why is on not the correct preposition here in this case? Can anyone tell me?
Sir, I think the girl is not a place, so we not use on.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Why is for right? Let me ask this one. Why is for right in this case?
Due to some reason, sir.
Okay. And likes, dislikes, for matlab ke liye, basically. Okay. So whenever you talk about, I was responsible for something, basically means ke liye. And here basically means affection is an emotion. Okay. Right. It's basically a feeling, or love, or fondness, liking. So liking cannot be on something. It is for something or for someone. So that is why for is the appropriate preposition in this case. Okay. So Raman has a strong affection for that poor girl. Sounds a little better than saying is the correct sentence. Okay. So whenever
you use it towards.
Toward is fine. Yeah. Toward is also fine in this case. You can say that. Yeah. Has strong affection towards that girl is also fine in this case. You can say that. It's not incorrect to say that. Okay. The other way you can probably rephrase is, the other way you can rephrase the sentences as strong, or the other way you can rephrase the sentence is Raman is fond of that girl. Okay, you can also rephrase the sentence in this way. Raman is fond of that girl basically means Raman has strong affection towards that poor girl. Okay, so you can rephrase the sentence using the other preposition as well. That will also be the same. Raman is fond of that poor girl means exactly the same as Raman has strong affection for that poor girl. Okay.
What happens if we put on there?
On doesn't make sense in this particular case because on means that it's like physically contact with someone, or it is also in terms of there are multiple explanations for on, but in this case on will not be appropriate because it's not your affection on someone, it's your affection for someone. मतलब किसी के लिए आपको, when you have a sentiment or a feeling towards someone, that means you have affection for that person, not on that person. So that's the difference in this case. People do get confused sometimes with on and for, but in this kind of sentence, always prefer to choose for, not on. Okay. You can, like for example, we don't say I believe on God, right? You say I believe in God because your belief is in that particular person or thing, but it's not on that particular thing. Okay. Similar to blind faith, for example, So there are certain prepositions that sound better with certain nouns, simply because it gives you a clear picture in totality. That's why it conveys the meaning basically in a better way. Okay. Yeah, that's the reason I asked why, if anyone is selected on in that particular case. Although it may sound right, the meaning is not very clear. Meaning is more clear when you either use toward or for. Let's continue. Ragini, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, read the next one, page 4.
There was a long discussion about what they should do next.
Very good. Here in this case, you can use another preposition, which is what?
About.
No, the same sentence.
Okay.
On,
Okay.
on, exactly, on.
They-
However,
on.
so there was a long discussion on what they should do next is also fine in this particular case. So here, these kind of situations you can use on. पर किसी चीज पर चर्चा हो रही थी. पर का मतलब on in English, right? So whenever there are sentences like this, you can use on as well. That's fine. Okay. There was a long discussion on something, on matters. Okay. We need to discuss. See, sometimes even you can use. You can make a sentence without using the preposition. Like, for example, let's say if I give you an example, we need to discuss. Okay. Just give me a minute. Let's say if my sentence is, we need to discuss about politics, we need to discuss on politics, or we need to discuss politics. Which of the three sentences is grammatically correct?
Discuss on politics.
No,
Sir, about sir.
no.
Then politics.
We need to discuss politics, guys. As I mentioned, that there are situations where you don't need to use the preposition because it doesn't make sense. The moment you say we need to discuss politics, we need to discuss finance, it basically means that the discussion is on finance or is about financial matters. When I say we need to discuss politics, basically means that the discussion is on politics or is about politics. So in these situations, we don't use the preposition. Why? Because the word itself, the noun itself conveys in totality what is the discussion about. Yes, and why? Because discuss is a word that I've used as a verb. Okay, so we need to discuss politics, we need to discuss finance, basically means that we need to speak on these particular topics. So that's why when you come across these sentences, avoid using the preposition. Okay, it basically conveys the meaning without the preposition. That's it. Okay, so avoid using the preposition in this case. Okay, all right, let's continue. Priyanka, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Go ahead, read the next one.
Sir, I can't see the screen. Please, if possible, text the question.
We are on page 5.
No, sir. Actually, I can't see the slides.
No problem. The sentence is, then just disconnect and reconnect. The sentence is, I have no interest dash music.
I have no interest in music.
In music, absolutely. You discuss about interest, likes, dislikes. Okay. So I have no interest in music. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, it's not about login and log out. I have been facing this problem since last 3-4 days.
So what is the issue?
Here, I can't see the slides, sir.
Have you updated the app
Yes,
or
sir.
deleted the history and cache?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. If you've not done it, just try and uninstall the app and install it again. If you still face a problem, then send an email to premium@helloenglish.com. Okay.
Sir, I tried my best. I did all the things what you have suggested now.
Now, have you sent an email?
Yes, sir.
When did you send an email? Can you tell me?
First day, second day, third day, I didn't send. Today, I didn't send.
Which the same email address?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me a minute.
Tulika.
To Mridvika. Okay, the thing is that Mridvika is probably on leaves now at the moment. However, there's another person, so I will contact the person. No problem. You're Priyanka Tiwari, right? Just give me a minute. I'll need to make a note. Okay, and if I message you on here on the chat, can you see my message here?
Yes, sir, I can see, but
No, here on Zoom.
no, sir, I can't see, sir.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to check something. Okay, no problem. I will inform the person. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Might not be available for the weekend, but yeah, Mridvika is on leaves. That is something I know for sure, but I will definitely check with the concerned person. Okay, thank you.
Sir, I have one more request also.
Yeah.
You said that you teachers get some material from Hello English team to means to revise before the lesson. Means before the class. Means if we pro members also means get that material, it would be helpful for us.
No, there's no particular material there. We have some of our training, but I mean we have some of our material that we can use if we want to use with regards to conducting the lessons. There's no specific like this is the material for this topic. There's nothing like that. They're general topics basically, which unfortunately you would not have access to. Only I would. But those are basic topics. And what I mean is that it's basically for internal purposes or usage for us itself. So
if they provide us in the form of PDF, it would be great for
no,
us.
you see it in forms. It's like similar to the topics that we do. It's just that it's in a general kind of a basis. We can choose what we want to and just use it for a reference. It is not a structured material like the topics that you all see. Most of it that we have access to is used in the topics that you all see. That's it. So it's just the way we use it and we can figure it out. And if there are, it's like basically tips and techniques basically. That's it. There's nothing specifically different. If there is anything, then that is anyway converted into a topic, and you see that on your app or on the topics that we do. So there's no specific kind of a topic related to that. It's just like a common reference material. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Let's continue. Rajesh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Read the next one. Page 6.
I was telling Ram on in the new project.
I was telling. Read the sentence again.
I was telling Ram
about.
Yes, sir.
Complete the sentence.
I was telling Ram about the new project.
Yes. आपने शायद गलत आंसर सिलेक्ट किया. What is the confusion? आप कुछ डाउट है तो पूछिए. About का क्या मतलब होता है हिंदी में?
के बारे में?
Exactly. So इसीलिए ये सेंटेंस का मतलब क्या है? मैं राम को नए प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में बता रहा था. Right? So इसलिए about is the right preposition in this case. Okay. If the same sentence, if I want to rephrase and say, I and Ram were discussing the new project, then you don't need a preposition. Okay. Ram and I, sorry, you need to use the other person first. So ignore what I said. Ram and I were discussing the new project. Okay. Then the meaning is the same, obviously. But here, the slight difference is that you are actually not discussing it. You are discussing in a sense, but you are telling Ram about the new project. Basically means that you might be probably introducing that new project to Ram. He might not be aware about certain things and you are introducing something new. So then that's the small difference between using telling and discussion. Discussion is when both people know the topic and there is an ongoing conversation about that. Here probably is just a one-way conversation when one person is telling something to the other person. Okay. So that's the difference. So I was telling Ram about the new project. Basically means मैं राम को नए project के बारे में बता रहा था. Okay. All right. Karthik, go ahead. Answer the next one.
Yes, sir. For Raman is a candidate for that post.
Read it again.
Raman is a candidate for that post. Here, for is used in the view of responsibility, I think.
Yes, that's correct. He is a candidate for that post. Basically, here it basically means Raman is suitable for that post. Is the most suitable candidate or is the best available option for that particular post. Okay. So yes, you're right. It's about responsibilities related to that particular post. So makes sense. Yeah, that is the correct assessment. It's related to responsibilities. Okay. All right. Asma, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, read the next one.
You will provide full support. You will provide full support to the chief officer.
Chief officer.
Chief officer.
Yeah, you will provide full support to the chief officer. Okay, makes sense. किसी को support करना, basically we will provide help. Basically, you will be helping the chief officer. That's what it means. Okay.
But the
Alright.
topic is not about to for today.
No, there is. We are discussing the prepositions, right? So to, for, and about. These are the three prepositions we are discussing.
About, for, and in, sir, not to.
To is not mentioned in the topic. Okay, my bad.
No.
My bad. But that's okay. They included that. So maybe just to include another preposition. So that's fine. No problem. So we can use it. Anyways, I will also share some other examples if I have. Okay. Yeah, two was the topic that we discussed yesterday. So maybe got mixed with it. Okay. No problem. Let's continue. I see a number here, 4026. Your name, please. It says 40266. May I know your name, please?
466 no.
Yeah, your name, please.
40.
That's fine. May I know your name?
Ansa. My name
Okay.
is Ansa.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Go ahead. Read the next slide, page 9.
Her belief on God was strong. In God was strong. Sorry,
In, absolutely right. Belief in.
In.
That's correct. That's correct.
Sir, what is the main difference between to and for?
Sorry?
What is the main difference between to and for?
Give me one sentence with to.
And sometimes I get confusion, means whether to use to or for in the sentence.
So give me a sentence where you think you get confused. Then we can discuss. Any sentence using to, it's fine.
Yes, sir.
I'll come back to you. Make a sentence and then use to only, and then we'll see if why is that correct and why is not the other one on incorrect. Okay. All right. Thank you. Deepak, can you hear me? Deepak, can you hear me? Deepak, you're on mute at the moment. I'm unable to hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. Read the next one.
There is no cause for anxiety.
Very good. There's no cause for anxiety. Absolutely. There. Just give me a minute. Yeah, there's no cause for anxiety. What is the meaning? Is sentence का क्या मतलब है? If you have to explain.
मतलब चिंता का कोई कारण, मतलब चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं।
नहीं, जरूरत नहीं है, नहीं। ये इसका सेंटेंस का मतलब है there is no cause for anxiety. मतलब yes, that what you said could be the thing, but basically means is कि चिंता का कोई कारण नहीं है. So it can mean two things. One is either you are telling the person that, there is no reason to worry about something. Okay. That could be one of the things. And the other thing could also be that anxiety is something that can come without any reason in a general sense. Anyone can get anxious or can, have a panic attack or become, be gripped with anxiety at any time without any reason. Matlab, बिना कोई वजह या suddenly something happens and a person can become anxious and be filled with anxiety. So both the meanings are correct. Either it can mean you are telling someone, or in generally as well there is no cause for anxiety. Okay, or there's no reason. There is no reason. A better way of saying the other sentence that I mentioned is there's no reason for anxiety. Anxiety can happen anytime to anyone, basically. Okay. All right. Thank you. Soma, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, read the next slide, page 11.
सर मुझे हिंदी पढ़ना नहीं आता।
कोई बात नहीं, आप इंग्लिश सेंटेंसेस देखिए और बताइए कौन सा सही सेंटेंस है. द हिंदी सेंटेंसेस उसने अपने आचरण, दैट इज बेसिकली बिहेवियर और कॉन्डक्ट, उसने अपने आचरण के लिए उससे माफी मांगी. दिस इज द सेंटेंस. So look at the English sentences and tell me which one do you think is appropriate.
He offers him an apology about her conduct.
Read it again.
she offered him an apology about her conduct.
Okay, fair enough. About her conduct, you think is that correct, or for her conduct? Read, understand the meaning of the sentence. माफी क्यों मांगी? अपने बिहेवियर की वजह से, राइट? मतलब मैंने कुछ गलत बिहेव किया है, उस चीज के लिए मैंने माफी मांगी है. So now tell me what is the correct one? के लिए, for.
For her conduct.
Exactly. Okay. About का मतलब होता है के बारे में, and for is के लिए. So this is what you behave. So that's why the person has behaved in a particular manner, and the person is offering an apology for that particular behavior. Okay, that's the difference. There are a lot of incorrect responses here. Anyone has any doubt, please feel free to ask about the sentence. A lot of incorrect responses I see here. Always try and understand the meaning of the sentence first, and then select the option. Okay. Anyone has any doubt about the sentence? I'm happy to repeat. Okay, fair enough.
Why not about? Still confusing.
You cannot be
sentence में के लिए था और
exactly.
Right.
And you cannot see. You cannot be sorry about your behavior. You can be sorry for your behavior. Why? Because you are responsible for your behavior. It is not that behavior is a topic that you are discussing and there is a discussion about your behavior. No, this is about you owning the responsibility for your behavior. That's why it is for is the preposition that covers the meaning of the sentence in totality, not about it.
Okay, sir.
It's like if you use about, it's like you are detaching yourself from your behavior. That is not how it works, because you own your behavior. Like I am responsible for my own actions. There's a statement, right? So that's the same thing here, that he offered an apology for her behavior. We don't say I'm responsible about my actions, right? We say I'm responsible for my actions, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's like owning up whatever actions you do or whatever behavior or the way we conduct ourselves. Okay. There's one question that I had though about this sentence. Just give me a minute. Yeah, this particular word, how do you pronounce this word? She offered him an apology for her conduct. How do you pronounce this particular word?
Conduct.
Conduct is pronounced when you use it as a verb. Here the sentence is used as a behavior, as a noun. So we pronounce it as conduct. Yes, that's correct. Conduct. The difference is that the stress is on con here, K-O-N, con. This is how you can pronounce it, C-U-D-U-C-T, conduct, okay? And if you use it as a verb, then you use conduct. We must conduct ourselves in an appropriate manner. Means we must behave in an appropriate manner. Here, the word is describing an action, actual behavior at a particular time, or managing something in a professional manner. That's when I pronounce it as a conduct, as a verb. The moment I use it as a noun, I would say conduct. There are many words like these. This is one of the examples I came across, so I'm sharing it. So remember, the pronunciation changes when you use it as a noun and when you use it as a verb. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just a minute. Okay. Manju, go ahead. Read the next one.
Yes, sir. आशा करता हूँ उसमें मेरे आत्मविश्वास को वो सही साबित करेगी. सही साबित करेगी.
May write basically justify.
I hope she will my confidence to her. And sir, I have a doubt.
First tell me what is the correct answer. That's fine. First tell me what is the correct answer.
Okay. Sir, second one. I hope she will justify my confidence at her.
her is incorrect here.
Is
See,
it correct
when
or
we,
wrong?
it's wrong. When we talk about beliefs or having confidence in someone or not having confidence in someone, we use the preposition in. It's totality. So I believe in
Okay,
something.
okay.
I have confidence in something.
In. I hope she will justify in.
You're not reading the
In, sir.
sentence properly.
Yes.
You're not reading the sentence properly, Manju. Read the sentence completely.
Yes. Yes.
What is the sentence? I hope she will justify my
sir.
confidence
First-
in her. Yeah.
I hope she will justify my confidence in her.
Yeah, that's correct. You're in. Yeah, that's correct. That is the one. May, basically,
Yes, sir,
may.
first.
Okay. Expressing that you
Thank you,
are, yeah, you're welcome. Expressing that you are having confidence in someone or you are having belief in something or someone, that is the meaning of this sentence. That's the reason. It's not about confidence at someone or to her or about her. No, it's about you having confidence in someone's abilities. Basically, the meaning of the sentence is आशा करता हूं उसे उसमें मेरे आत्मविश्वास को सही साबित करेगी. Okay. Basically, the meaning of the sentence is I hope she will justify my confidence in her abilities. Although abilities is a word that is not necessary to mention here. Even if you use it, it's fine. I'm just giving you the meaning. This sentence ka matlab hai ke whatever the person's capabilities are, capacities are, capabilities are, or whatever the skill sets are, the speaker is stating that I hope she will justify my confidence in her capabilities or in her skills or in her abilities. Basically, that is the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so that's why in is the perfect preposition here in this case. Okay, Z, go ahead, read the next one.
ओके सर. अडवाणी ने दुर्घटना के लिए आरोप स्वीकार कर लिया. अडवाणी accepted the blame for the accident.
For the accident, yeah, absolutely right. Accepted the blame for the accident. Okay. Or he was blamed for the accident and he accepted the responsibility for the accident. Okay, the blame rather. Thank you. Abhay, go ahead, read the next one. Abhay, you're on mute. Go ahead, read the next one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
She showed an interest in our project.
Very good. Excellent. See, now, what is the difference between using she showed an interest about our project and showed an interest in our project? Why is so this is how we understand the difference. You see, although grammatically, okay, she was, let's say, for example, if I have to rephrase this sentence, okay, give me a minute. She showed interest. Okay. Now, if I were to, just a minute. She showed interest. Now, if I were to rephrase this sentence, okay, the meaning of the sentence is what? She was interested or she is interested in our project. मतलब किसी चीज को लेकर she has keen interest in that particular thing. So that is why here in this case, it is not that उसको हमारे project के बारे में रुचि थी, हमारे project में रुचि थी. So that's how we understand that there are certain prepositions that are appropriate in a given sentence because the meaning obviously is conveyed in a clear manner. Now, again, in this sentence, if I were to look at the other options, she showed an interest on our project, doesn't make sense. She showed an interest of our project, absolutely wrong. Again, if someone is selected on here, I understand why you would have, but then again, it's not right here because on would again mean that per, kisi cheez per, but that is not the thing here. Here, the word is kisi cheez mein interest hona. So whenever it comes to beliefs, interests, likes, dislikes, confidence in someone, okay, prefer to use the preposition in. Okay, I am interested in, let's say, I am interested in attending the classes. I'm interested in learning. Okay, I'm interested in learning guitar, for example. Okay, so whenever there are sentences related to interest, like, dislike, belief, confidence, use in. Okay, All right, let's continue. Meera, go ahead, read the next one.
यस सर, मैं प्रिया को दुर्घटना के बारे में बता रही थी. I was telling Priya about the accident, sir. First one. I was telling Priya about the accident, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here in this case, you are discussing about, and basically it's a particular topic of discussion. So I was telling Priya about the accident, narrating the incident to that person. Okay, I was telling Priya about the accident. Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else who's just joined? Yeah, Raj, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, read the next one.
I cannot Hindi. Sir.
I'll read the sentence. The sentence in Hindi is, वे नए contract के बारे में चर्चा कर रहे थे. It's like a new contract was being discussed, something like that. वे नए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के बारे में चर्चा कर रहे थे.
They were discussing about the new contract.
They were discussing. Sorry.
About the new contract.
Absolutely. They were discussing.
They were discussing about the new contract.
See, in this case, even if I say they were discussing the new contract, is fine. Okay, grammatically fine. Yes. You don't need to use the preposition in this case. This was one of the sentences, like the earlier example where I gave. They were discussing the contract. It's good enough. We don't need a preposition in this case. Okay, that's fine.
Yes,
but even if you use the preposition, it's not incorrect, but it's not needed, to be honest with you. I would prefer to use it without the preposition.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. The moment you say they were discussing the contract, basically means I would prefer to use it without the preposition, to be honest. So remove it and just say they were discussing the contract. Because the moment you say that, they were discussing the contract, basically means their discussion was about the new contract, okay? Or they were discussing terms and conditions of the contract. So that's why you don't need to use the preposition in this case. I would prefer to use it without the preposition. It's better. It's grammatically correct to use it without the preposition in this case, okay? All right, thank you. Okay, Karthik, go ahead, read the next one. उसकी संपत्ति में उसका गर्व होना मूर्खता है.
Her pride in her property is foolishness.
Is her foolishness. I think that should be the. Oh no, it's foolishness. It's fine. I got the sentence. Her pride in her property is foolishness. Yeah, that's fine. Makes sense. Basically, extremely proud of what she has, and that pride is foolishness. Karthik, did you find the sentence where you were confused with to and on, right? What was it? I forgot. Sorry.
No, sir.
Was it about to and on, or was it to and for? I forgot.
To and for.
To and for. Okay, let me give you a sentence. I was telling him to complete. Okay. So my sentence is, I was telling him to complete the work. Fine, grammatically correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What was the other word you said? For.
Yes, sir, for.
Yeah, okay. The same sentence, obviously, I cannot use for, but if I were to rephrase the sentence, you might be able to. I was telling him for. Okay, or you can say I was. No, here in this case, you cannot, unless you rephrase the sentence completely or say, I was, probably advising.
I'll come with the sentence tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. I was advising, again, even if I use another word like advising him, the preposition will still stay the same, okay?
Sir, I think to is used for to transfer one person to other, just like I said to him.
See, to and for are used for multiple things, not just one thing. There are a lot of examples that you can use. See, as a preposition, to is used with two things, okay? One, when we talk about the infinitive, okay, the base form of the verb to indicate that the verb is in the infinitive form. The other is, as you rightly mentioned, partially correct, expressing a motion in the direction of a particular thing. Like, for example, the example that you say, I was telling him to do something, or I was talking to him, basically means what? That there is a motion in direction, right? For example, from one person to the other person. So prati, jise kehte hain, uske prati. So that's what it basically means. To is used in that particular case. For is used when we talk about for basically is like ke liye, basically means we were talking for hours. Okay, we are talking for hours. Matlab basically we are talking for n number of hours. So that's the difference here in this case. Okay, so for and to, you can come up with some sentences. We'll discuss it tomorrow. Okay, but
Okay,
yeah,
sir.
basic difference is for ke liye and to basically means that it's used when we are talking about either as the infinitive or when there's a motion in direction of something. Okay. All right. Z, go ahead. Answer the next one.
ओके सर। नैना के लिए उनका स्नेह स्वाभाविक है।
स्वाभाविक है। Start with his.
ओके सर।
So your hint is that natural is where the full stop is. So that's the last word. So his, we discussed a similar sentence, right? About someone having affection for someone. This is a similar one. Sneh, what is the translation for sneh? Fondness, right?
Fondness, sir.
So his fondness for who?
His fondness for Neha is natural.
Naina is natural, absolutely.
Nat-
His fondness for Naina is natural. Okay, this is the sentence.
Yes, sir.
His fondness for Naina is natural. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. The same sentence basically means that the meaning of the sentence is that he is fond of Naina. That's the meaning here. You can use all of he's fond of here in this case if you rephrase the sentence. Okay. Or his fondness toward Naina is natural. That is also fine. You can use the other preposition. For is the most appropriate one, of course. Okay. All right. Ragini, can you hear me? Yeah, this is a very common sentence here. Anyone can answer this. What is the translation for this?
I believe in him.
Yeah, absolutely. मुझे उसमें विश्वास है. I believe in him. Okay. So yeah, that's about it for the prepositions today. When we discuss some other prepositions, we'll discuss. We don't have enough time today. Otherwise, I would have discussed some other prepositions. So just remember the usage of the prepositions in, for, of. Sometimes, So if I were to explain what is the difference between using to and for is used in terms of need, reason, and responsibility. Okay. What's the reason for your behavior? Okay. Reason for your behavior. Need for. Okay. For example, need can be also used with of. Responsibility for. Okay. So we need to take responsibility for our actions. So this is when we use for. In terms of need, you can say his need for greater happiness, or his need for greater happiness made him commit many, or made him commit the crime. Okay. Here, when I say need for, I can use it in terms of this. His need for greater happiness made him commit the mistake, okay, or made him commit the crime, for example. Okay. So here you can use for. So Karthik, this is for you. Just remember, for is used with regards to need, reason, and responsibility. These are the three things you can use for. And when you talk about to, you can use to in terms of approach, in terms of reaction, and in terms of response. So these are the three things. Okay.
Sir, I'm going for his birthday, or I'm going to his birthday.
Sorry? To.
I'm go
To here, because here you're talking about an approach. So I am going to his birthday is appropriate. Birthday
Sir,
is
approach and other, sir, 2 words.
On
The 2 for approach and other.
yeah. So approach, reaction, and response. Like for example, if I make a sentence, my reaction for, then no, my reaction to his behavior was not very good, for example. Okay, I'm just giving an example. It's not my reaction for his behavior. So my reaction to, because here I'm talking about my reaction. It's not about that person. I'm talking about myself. So my reaction or my approach to, let's say let's say I'll give you another sentence. Give me what is the appropriate one. Okay, his approach to okay, I'll give you a sentence. Tell me, Karthik, tell me which is the correct preposition. His approach dash acting is detailed. His approach to acting is detailed or for acting is detailed?
to acting.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Why? Because here we are talking about, so the sentence in Hindi basically means abhinay ke prati unka jo drishtikon hai, that is in a detailed manner. Okay. Vistarit hai ya whatever the word means in Hindi. Okay. Vistrit hai basically. So his approach to acting is detailed. It's not his approach for acting. For acting can be used in terms of another sentence like he charges a huge amount of money for acting. Okay. That's when you can use for. So remember, when you use to, it's about approach, reaction, and response. Okay. And when you use for, it's used for need, reason, and responsibility. Okay. That's the difference. All right. So well done, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I will